Built in the year 1373 by the knight John de la Mare, Nunney Castle was as much the realisation of an ideal as it was a stronghold intended for serious defence. Sir John de la Mare was once a figure of relatively modest means, but through his service to King Edward III in the Caroline War with France, he made his fortune and increased his prestige, so much so as to enjoy royal favour. Prior to the building of the castle, an unfortified manor house had stood on the site, but with a licence from the king to crenellate the manor house and the money available to him from his military service, Sir John de la Mare set about developing a substantial fortification, in part as a way of displaying his wealth, but also to demonstrate his growing power and influence in the area. When Sir John died in 1383, Nunney Castle was inherited by his son Philip de la Mare, who in turn bequeathed the castle to his son Elias. It is uncertain of what fate then became of Elias de la Mare, although it is probable that he died during the Lancastrian War with France in the early 15th century. And although married, Elias de la Mare did not have any children, and so Nunney Castle passed into the hands of his widow's family, the Poulets. The castle was then held throughout the 15th century by 3 generations of the Poulet family: Sir John Poulet, his son John, and then his son, also called John. And whilst the family retained the Christian name John, their family name evolved alongside the English language, becoming Paulet by the end of the 15th century. Nunney Castle was never the primary seat of the Paulet family. That lay at Basing Castle in Hampshire. However, the family retained and did use Nunney for most of the 16th century, before selling the castle in 1572. The next 5 years saw the castle pass rapidly through several owners before being sold to Richard Prater in 1577 for the price of £2,000, that equating to approximately the buying power of £500,000 today. Nunney Castle was peacefully owned by the Prater family into the 17th century, with the castle undergoing modernisation and the moat and grounds being remodelled. However, with the outbreak of civil war in 1642, the castle's peace came to an end. The incumbent Prater at the outbreak of the war was loyal kinsman Colonel Richard Prater, and although the royalist situation throughout the country deteriorated as the war progressed, the southwest of England became one of the few remaining royalist strongholds. In light of this, Nunney Castle was so garrisoned in anticipation of an attack by parliamentary forces. The assault on the castle came on the 18th of September 1645. An army under the command of Lord Fairfax and Oliver Cromwell had advanced into Somerset, taking several royalist positions before turning to Nunney Castle. Holed up in the castle, Colonel Prater soon became surrounded by 2 regiments of soldiers and threatened with cannon. Refusing to concede to Parliament, Prater's position came under cannon fire, and even though the bombardment breached the castle's north side, Colonel Prater continued to resist, going so far as to raise a flag with a Catholic crucifix on it above the castle to reattest his loyalty to the crown. However, after 2 more days of siege, the garrison was forced to surrender. The blow was doubly hard for Colonel Prater, as he was then forbidden from occupying the castle further, despite his plea to support Parliament from then on. The Prater's eviction from Nunney was however short-lived. With the restitution of the monarchy in 1660, Nunney Castle was recovered from its interim owners and given back to the Praters.